All right, so earlier I mentioned that this thing was not shifting at the remote station. And I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a mechanism down there that is not linked up to the shift mechanism that is down on the lower unit here. So I'm gonna have to take this off and investigate why that is broken. So that's what we'll do. So here I am loosening up the shifting mechanism that goes down into the lower unit, and then I'll remove the 6 bolts that come off of the, or that hold the lower unit to the rest of the body, and it just pulls right on out. Okay, that wasn't too long, it wasn't too hard. I would like to thank whatever mechanic working this thing last, he put anti-seize on this. Thank you, that is very helpful. All right, try to see how in the world to get to that part. But this thing looks pretty good so far. Have to get it in the shop and see if we can crack that open to see what that looks like. So the impeller probably hasn't been changed in God knows how long, so we'll take a look. Stay tuned. All right, so we pulled the shift linkage out, and yeah, it's broken. I don't know how that happened, but it did, and I got a used one I can get a hold of, and I think I will. So in the meantime, I did get a tune-up kit for this little thing, and I'm gonna pop that thermostat housing off, which is right here, and see what that looks like. I'm pretty sure it's corroded up because paint looks fresh on these bolts. So if it hasn't been changed in 20 whatever years, pretty sure salt water's taking its toll on it, but we shall see. All right, got that housing popped off. Take a look here. Show you the inside of this. A lot of corrosion right here. See that? Clean that up with some wire brush or something. See if we can't pop this off quick. And oh my God, that thing is in there. Yeah, no wonder this thing wasn't pushing any water out. Holy sh! Sorry for the crappy camera work. All right, so I saved you the boring, struggling details I had to do. Run back and forth to the garage, which is over there, to go get my tools, because where the boat's parked, to where my tools are. So look down in here. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Gross. I think these kickers really get neglected quite a bit on these boats like this, because no one cares. But I'm gonna clean it up and get it running again. See if we can't throw some hot water down this thing to kind of flush this stuff out. And yeah, it's gonna be cool once we get this thing going. For this monster, this is going to be a different story, because of course, what did they do? Made it a pain in the ass to get to. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to remove the starter to get to it, because I see no other way. If there is another way, well, I just created more work for myself then. Whatever. Haha. Okay, in the spirit of working smarter, not harder, I think I can pull this off by getting those 2 bolts from underneath down here, down in there, out. And this looks like it'll just come up in one unit. I have to disconnect the carburetor. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. All right, let's get to it. Okay, that was painful. Ended up having to take the starter off. Super simple to really do. There's 2 bolts that held it up. Take this off. Here, 2 bolts. 1, 2. 2 bolts to hold it up. Take it off, take your wires off. Then you had to take your bracket off, which I got that. So there's 3 bolts. There's 2 right here. 1, 2, and then 3. And she came off. She looks good. Cool. That's one thing about these Yamahas, man. These things are amazing, but they're expensive. All right. Well, good news is I can finally get to that cotter key right there, and that's the one I need to get to. Now my other dilemma is getting that out, which I will probably just drill out, and hopefully it will just fall through, and we'll all be good. That'd be the ideal thing, because in order to get that bolt out, I have to take this whole assembly off to get underneath that bolt. And obviously I cannot get to it right there. There's just no way. That sucks. Anyway, I'm gonna continue on with this thing, and yeah. All right, so in order to get this outboard off, I need to cut this lock, because I don't have the key to it, and that thing looks like it has been turned in years. But I gotta get these electrical connections out, and what I like to do to kind of remember how these go together, just use your paint pen, courtesy of your spouse, that she doesn't know I borrowed it from her, and just make a mark like that, so that way you know that's where that went to later on. It'll make reassembling this thing a whole lot easier. Again, sorry about the wind noise. All right, I'm gonna set the camera back up to start cutting this thing off. It's gonna be a challenge. Well, that proved to be a little more difficult than I thought to get that off. And lo and behold, this bolt broke. The one I couldn't get off without essentially taking off the power head, which I had no choice to do. And unfortunately, I broke a few bolts in the process of doing that. So yeah, that sucks. So I broke one of these guys. These actually hold down the shroud that surrounds it. And the actual bolts to the power head came out relatively easily, but everything else is pretty good shape for the most part. So anyway, what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna throw some heat to this and see if I can't get this stuff to come out. Some heat. Some of the easiest time I've ever had to get the bolts out that broke, and that is poor boating for you, because that happens, and you can only do so much. I hope the one of the engine block comes out the same way, because that's gonna suck. All right, well, at least that part's done. Trying to get that one out of the engine block, and kind of getting dark and it's starting to rain, so I don't like working in the rain. We'll save that for another time. Thank you for watching. All right, so we are going to take out the impeller on this leg here, or excuse me, this lower unit. And super sweet. Set those aside for now and just pop this on up. Just like so. And looks pretty clean actually. So that ain't look too bad, but we're gonna replace this anyway. Get gaskets in good shape, so we'll probably just keep that because I don't think I got another one. So yeah, this is basically just pull this off and put the new one on. Just be careful because you have a keeper key down here that needs to go on with this. See if, yeah, she's right here. A little key right there. You want to make sure that's still there. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Put that back on and put this back down the way it came and good to go. Got the little kicker put back together. Brief synopsis on what we did. We had to replace this. Let's see if you can see it, but that shifter linkage down there because it was not going into neutral or reverse. It was just forward, and that wasn't going to cut it. Changed the oil, and I was going to change the spark plugs, but I pulled them out and they look really good, so I'm just going to keep using them. Got our test tank, right, aka garbage can. Throw it back on this back on the boat because that has all the controls to it, and I'm going to take it back off. So this is kind of temporary hooked up until I am satisfied with its test. And yeah, we'll just wait till this fills up. And all right, she is purring like a kitten. I did forget to mention that we changed out the impeller and the thermostat here. Start peeing here pretty soon. She was not doing that before. She is running phenomenally, nice and quiet.